The following is a hypothetical speech given to the Australian people sometime after September 7, 2013, by whoever is elected the Prime Minister of Australia. This hypothetical has been authorised by fedgov for doctors.
Today, we reflect upon a shameful chapter in the history of the federal government's treatment of the Australian medical profession. We reflect upon the recent 18 years where two Australian doctors working identically side by side were paid widely disparate Medicare rebates from the federal government. The so-called VR general practitioner being paid twice the Medicare rebate of the so-called non-VR GP. Where both Australian doctors could have the exact same medical training and qualifications, both had the same hospital experience, both took identical patient responsibility, both had the same practice costs, both bore the same costs of medical liability insurance. In fact, where both hard-working Australian-born and Australian-trained doctors were identical professional siblings, but one was treated as a bastard. This discriminatory practice by the highest government in the land was deliberately kept secret from the Australian people. On behalf of this federal government, I now pledge the following. For the unjust laws and policies of successive governments that have inflicted profound grief and loss on these hard-working Australian doctors, today we stand ashamed for demeaning these 4,150 Australian doctors with the disgraceful status of non-VR, defaming them and implying they were somehow substandard. For the gross and deliberate pay discrimination practiced by successive federal governments, paying these doctors half Medicare rebates for the exact same responsibility, work and effort, today we stand aghast. For freezing their Medicare rebates at 1992 levels, then conscripting these Australian doctors to country and rural areas so they would be grateful to receive the normal GP and Medicare rebates that their city colleagues were paid. Today, we stand appalled. We apologise for the pain, distress and injury caused to these highly conscientious and hard-working doctors, some of whom became tortured past the point of severe depression, their self-esteem being crushed while their financial livelihood was stolen from them by a deliberately imposed federal bureaucracy. For the anguish suffered by these doctors' partners and children as they too were robbed of the freedom to live where they wanted and thus had to sacrifice their own careers and educational opportunities because of this flagrantly unjust law. And for the indignity thus inflicted on noble professionals whose sacrifice and effort to their fellow Australians is a daily duty. Assumed, however, with genuine dedication and honour, today we say we are profoundly sorry. We, the Parliament of Australia, request that this determination to come clean be received as part of our efforts to go forward in true justice and equality, to rebuild our nation so that the fair go we often give lip service to will actually be enshrined at the heart of our culture. Today we take the first step, laying claim to a future which embraces all general practitioners with equal professional training, competence and patient responsibility as, of course, fully equal under the law and equal in their status and eligibility for Medicare rebates. A future where Australian Parliament resolves that such gross bureaucratic injustices, indeed parliamentary sanctioned pay discrimination, must never, never happen again.